This is one of my favorite Indian chocolate bars. It's called Fuse. Delicious. First off, I need to apologize for the noise on this video. There's literally nowhere you can go that is fully silent. You can still hear honking and explosions, which not really clear what they are. We are in week 3 of being in India and I have learned so much already. I figured that I would make a video to share some of these cool things that I am learning. First thing we should note is that anyone you talk to that knows India well or has lived here will tell you that it is really 26 countries in one. They kind of refer to themselves sometimes as their own continent because it is so diverse. Keep that in mind as I'm talking. I am not referring to India as a whole in any way. I have just been in Uttarakhand. Please don't think that what I'm telling you applies to all of India, let alone this entire state. This is just my personal experience and personally what I've been learning. Something that was pointed out to me very early on was how we coming to India as Westerners actually think that our culture is the culture of the world. We believe that that is the way it is, when really the way that it is here is the majority. They have way more people than we do. Coming here and then criticizing or trying to see the fault just really isn't helpful for anyone, because ultimately you're criticizing how humanity lives. I am coming to this completely open-minded, knowing that we are in the minority and confident that we have something to learn from everyone on this planet. One is not better than the other, they are simply different. Now that that is out of the way, I'm going to rewind to some of my first moments arriving in India. The moment I arrived in New Delhi, of course, I'm there and the guy tells me my baggage is overweight. I had researched this ahead of time and had found the website that said the weight limit, and it was the same as my Air Canada flight from Toronto. Of course, the fine print said, unless you're flying on this particular aircraft, and that was the aircraft that I was taking, and so I had to remove 10 kilograms worth of stuff from my bag. After some panic and unpacking my luggage on the floor of the New Delhi airport, I realized there was no way, no matter how much stuff I tried to get rid of, that I was gonna be under the limit. So I sucked it up and I paid the extra baggage fee. So I'm standing in line and the guy's doing something on the computer, and all these people keep walking up and asking the guy questions, and he's answering them. And me being there, I'm like, hey guys, what are you doing? Like, he's clearly helping me, you're being rude, why are you marching in front? Being in a new country, I let it slide. I'm like, whatever, they probably have a reason for it. As I learned later on, their logic behind it was that the guy's mouth was actually available because he was only working on the computer, and therefore they were gonna use the mouth to answer the questions. And so they weren't being rude at all. They were just being resourceful and efficient. And I love it. I'm like, that is brilliant. Great, great first reminder of how in different cultures we can perceive things very differently. I arrived in Dehradun. Dehradun is where my home is gonna be for the 7 weeks. And I get off the plane and I knew I was kind of in for a ride when the pilot is walking off the plane with me and asked me if I'm going to a yoga retreat or if I am soul searching. According to the pilot, those are the only 2 reasons that you come to Dehradun. I get into the car that they had arranged to come pick me up, and we're driving and I see a sign for elephants. So I asked the driver, like, beware of elephants. I asked the driver, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, is this a legit thing? Are there elephants? Like, this is incredible. And he answered, yes, ma'am. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is gonna be the best 7 weeks of my life. So we're driving, and as we're driving, I see a monkey run by. And so I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, but like, sir, there's a monkey. And he's like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, why are you not so excited? Like, there is a monkey on the side of the road. And all his response was, yes, ma'am. And I realized monkeys are like squirrels here. It's story time with Jen about monkeys, okay? So the other day we go to the zoo, and most people, when you go to the zoo, would think that monkeys are in a cage. They are part of the exhibits, but no. Monkeys here at the zoo, of course, are just wandering because they live here. Next thing I know, a monkey is grabbing my pants, like at my ankle, my pant legs, And I immediately am like, here we go, it's gonna bite me, I'm gonna get rabies, I'm gonna die in India. Thankfully, guy saved me, it was fine. Cute, eh? Real cute. You think it's cute? No, it's not cute. It is terrifying. Traffic. It is so cool how busy it is, and I love how the streets and the markets and just everywhere, it's teeming with life. I'm like, this is how life is supposed to be. The wildlife and the people and the working and the colors, it is incredible. So I am loving the traffic here. Other people think it's stressful, not so much, but when you don't have a strict time you have to be anywhere, the city bus is a blast. What I've learned is there's a totem pole system. Basically, the bigger the vehicle you are, the higher on the totem pole you are. If you are a bus, you just take those corners and blow on your horn and people move out of the way for you magically. If you are a pedestrian, you're expected to move out of the way. So if you don't, you're the smaller item. Sorry. Thankfully that hasn't happened yet. As I'm recording this video, we are still here and we are alive. What I did learn though is that cows are at the top of the totem pole. Legit, like, holy cow is real here. And when they're going around corners, they don't necessarily stay in the right lane, so they honk to tell you that they're coming. Well, for us, I think when someone's honking, that means that they're trying to get your attention and they probably know you. We assume that they know us, but no, they don't. Why would they know us? We are in the middle of India. Still, 3 weeks in, we all turn every time someone honks, thinking that we're gonna see our long lost cousin. The other thing that I've noticed about traffic is no one follows the rules. And so I asked the guy we're staying with, I was like, yo, buddy, like, what's about that? And he was saying they actually have rules, just no one follows them. It makes for a fun time. Literally just driving from one place to another is your entertainment for the day. One thing that I found so interesting here is how people don't take responsibility for things. It's not like, oh, I hit the book off the table. It's just, oh, the book fell. Also don't take responsibility on the good side. It's not, oh, I made dinner. It's just the food is ready. One of the guys I was with commented and said, hey, one of you dropped your keys, because there was a group of monks. And the guy picked them up and said, no, actually the keys just fell. And at first I was like really weirded out by this. I was like, why can't you just take responsibility for things? But then it really hit me. I was like, this is actually really cool that they don't identify themselves with what they're doing. And I think we can all learn from that, that you're not placing your identity in your actions or what you're doing, but instead you're placing it in something greater. It's just a neutral thing. Everyone works together, it's community focused, and together they're community sustained. Let's talk about all the spicy things that I've been eating. Let's talk about food. It is spicy. I'm the person at a restaurant in Canada to be like, milder than you're mild. I don't do spice. And so it's definitely been an adjustment, but I have to say I'm getting so much better at it. I will eat things and my nose has stopped running. I'm not crying anymore during meals. So that is good progress. However, I am not at the stage of voluntarily adding spice into my food. One thing about the food that I think I will personally just adopt in life is having savory food for breakfast. India is transforming me. Another thing that I really admire about people here is how resourceful they are. They will find a way to do anything. And we've been starting to have fun watching people on scooters carry big loads. People just naturally problem solve way quicker here. They will always find a way, and I love it. It is so entertaining to see how creative they get. My last thing that I will talk about is how hospitable people are. They go out of their way to make sure that you feel comfortable. The other day, we actually went to a ashram where monks live, met with a Swami who is one of the religious leaders of this ashram, and we got chatting with him for over 2.5 hours one morning about Hinduism. They had gone out of their way to allow us to come in and meet with this guy. Then they brought us food, they brought us drinks, they offered for us to stay for lunch after we toured the ashram. I think that that is just a message of love for all of us. We can all learn a lesson from Indian hospitality. That all being said, it has been the best couple weeks, and I can't believe how fast time is flying. I will continue to keep you guys updated. We are super busy over here. If you guys have any questions or specific things you want me to address, either privately or in a video, please just let me know, send me a message. So peace, love, and blessings to you all, what a beautiful day it is here. Hello. Convenience focus. Blah. I thought that was a pen. I thought it